So like I was saying, Iron Hands was last most prominently seen during the 8th edition, and it was a menace. It was really balls to the walls hard. So is it still a menace in this edition, do you think, Lennard? No.
Also, the play style of Ninth is not really beneficial to Iron Hands.
Nope.
So I think you still can do some cool stuff, and I'm going to talk about it soon. But like the unkillable Leviathan Dreadnought
doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist anymore. So
Nope.
And also the Leviathan Dreadnought itself got nerfed, or not nerfed, but got changed. I mean.
Well, he lost a ballistic skill because
Yeah,
it goes.
yeah,
so then you're nerfed.
Yeah, but he's also way cheaper.
Yeah, that's true. So, but he changed in a big way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it changed in a big way. It's a totally different unit. So you need to play it as a different unit. Like I started playing 40K in 8th edition. So I started with that list because I was googling what's good. I Dreadnought, and I like Dreadnought. So
Yeah.
Okay, we have a new nickname for Lenny. It's Netlist Lenny.
No.
Netlist Lenny.
I actually just love Dreadnoughts. So
Yeah,
Dreadnoughts are like my thing. So that's why I brought the Iron Hands today, because I actually needed to paint 2 more Dreadnoughts.
In 3 days, right?
Yeah, I painted them in 3 days. Glued them together in 1 day and painted them up in 2 days.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was very good.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was good fun. Let's go to the list.
Shall I go through the list?
Yeah, let's go
All
through
right,
the
let's
list.
do it, man. So it's an Iron Hands battalion. Just one battalion, but you don't need anything less.
No.
Or more. Starting off with Iron Father Pharaohs.
Yeah. So Pharaohs also got like from 120 or 110 points to 160.
Yep.
Because he's so strong. I think he probably a little bit too expensive, but still going strong.
Awesome.
He's awesome.
He's the father.
Yeah. He gives a 5+ intel save to all your core infantry. Oh no, to all infantry. Don't have to be core. So you actually can pump some other infantry guys. So that's actually really strong. Because
that makes your tacticals and your intercessors and your aggressors way better.
Better, and also like a lot of marine players use just a Libby to do that, and then it's psychic power.
And then you fill your psychic power, and then
or you play against demons and they deny you. So that's something I really like, and it gives you a slot actually. Pharaohs can pump one of your dreadnoughts to give them a +1 to hit, which is really strong. And he's just a beast in close combat, in shooting.
So what kind of gun does he have?
He have like I think I don't know the range, but it's like damage 2, strength 5, 3
he's a
shots.
very good bolter.
Yeah, it's very good bolter, but like also more strength, more damage.
Yeah.
But it's heavy, so you have reroll once in turn 1. That's also good. But then afterwards it gets worse because it hits on trees instead of.
So to make it clear for everyone in the chat, so what does the Iron Hands actually give you? You as extra rules.
So it gives you 6+ feel no pain.
Yep.
So that is really strong. It also gives you so the bracketing of the dreadnought goes. You double the wounds for if you check their bracket. So for example, if you normally bracket on 7 and 4. So that means on only on 3 wounds or less you're gonna break.
Yeah, so 3 and 2 is it probably? Yeah. So that's extremely good.
That's extremely good. So that's
those Leviathans will always be operational if they're not killed.
Exactly. And you get in your Devastator Doctrine you get reroll once on every heavy weapon.
Which is
basically the
good stuff. Yeah, the good stuff.
The tasty bit.
Yeah. And normally I also use a drop pod with grav guns, but today I also have the drop pod, but I put it in reserve and actually put the grav guns here on the table. But that's only because of the blocking, because I want to block the airplane. So I set up like this big field of bodies to make sure the planes cannot land.
Yeah, so I can actually you actually measured it out. There's like 2 places where it's maybe interesting to drop my my thing, and that's it.
Yeah, but I protect my characters and my important units this way.
Yep.
So let's go further with the list.
Yeah, sure. So for the second HQ slot, you've got a lieutenant with the relic, the Teeth of Terra.
Yeah, so I play a lieutenant because reroll ones is just really strong, and I really like to use it on my contender dread. And of course my Devastators and my Melt Boys.
The Eradicators.
The Eradicators. And I don't use a captain because I can use a stratagem to make my Dreadnought a captain.
Yeah,
the new one.
The Wisdom of the Ancients.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So this is how I get my rerolls, and it also gives rerolls to himself.
Yeah, so if you in turn 1 you don't need it because everything is heavy, and after that you're just gonna make him a captain every turn for 1 CP to say, okay, I'm gonna go.
And that saves me points, and then I can buy more units. So this is how I try to play Iron Hands. So I get this is what gives me advantage.
Yep.
So the next one.
Well, you've got 3 units of Assault Intercessors for troops. So just standard Intercessor squads?
No, I have actually 3 different troops.
Oh, sorry, well, my bad.
No problem. So I have Assault Intercessors, Normal Intercessors, and a Tactical Squad. So it's actually the same points.
I see.
But it's
then
it
the
doesn't
list on
really
screen
matter.
might be a bit wrong,
it's,
though.
it's the models that I painted.
That I painted, yeah.
And they all do the same role. I mean, they hold objectives.
They're gonna use banners.
Yeah, they're gonna use banners. They're gonna shoot something, probably not kill it, and be there.
Yeah.
So
just for my interest, so the Intercessors have what kind of bolts? Do they have just the normal bolts, or do they have the okay.
No, the rapid fire ones.
Yeah, okay. That's
not damage too.
That actually is quite important. So
yeah, it is. What probably would be better versus your list, but the one I sent to Steven doesn't have the heavy ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Because of range and
yeah.
damage.
Okay.
Okay. Then the next.
Yeah, so we go over into the elites section. You've got an aggressor squad.
Yeah, an aggressor squad. It's just because, like in the old list, you had like your close combat punch was like your Chaplain Dreadnoughts. Do you remember the one that could not be targeted?
Yeah, the legendary.
And you use them as a counter charge. So you got charged into your infantry, and then you just charge back with your Pharaohs and the Chaplain Dreadnoughts. So that doesn't really work. So I needed some close combat melee power. So I brought in aggressors and also blade guards. That's probably the next one on the list. Yep. And they are there to hold the line and
still have a lot of shooting though.
Yeah, and they have also a lot of
right?
yeah. And if you give them +1 to hit with Pharaohs and the reroll, that's actually pretty.
Yeah, it's a lot of shots.
Yeah, and blast. So versus Horde, they're actually pretty good at Horde clearing as well.
Sounds very good.
So my Gretchen will never get out of that truck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they ever would want to get out of the truck.
Yeah, well,
like in any situation.
If they shoot at Gretchen, they're not shooting at anything else. So
that's true.
That's all the problem.
Okay, so for your next slot, you've got Blade Guard Veterans.
Yeah, so I think they're really good in Iron Hand actually, because you have the 6 of Feel No Pain, and they don't have to be in range of your apothecary, so they can be just an individual unit. And most of the time, I use them to like Iron Hand, you build a castle, right? You build a shooting castle always, and they give you really the movability to go on the other side of the map, or just be their solo unit. And they're actually really tough to remove from the table. Yep. So they're really good at holding an objective, or just in late game charge something and kill it.
Yep.
I love them.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very good.
They're definitely one of the best units that have been released.
Yeah, definitely.
Blade Guard Veterans are
probably one of the best.
So then you have a Leviathan Dreadnought with the Storm Cannons, the Twin Volt Kite Calivers, and Hunter Killer Missiles.
Yeah. So they both have the same layout, the Dreadnoughts, but one has 2 Hunter Killer Missiles and one has 3, just point wise.
All right.
And I really like so normally you use them with heavy flamers. But because the other gun were like 10 points more, and now they are the same price. So in the new codex, they are the same price. So Full Kites are much better. They do.
You get the mortal wounds on 6s.
Yeah, you get the mortal wounds on 6s. They're strength 5, damage 2, no AP, but that does. I mean, okay, fine. But they shoot 8 times.
Yeah.
And with the double, so it's even better than the flamer. It's much better.
Yeah, it's much better. Flamers are good.
So there's not a chance you want flamers. Only if you play salamanders or something.
Yeah. And then the storm cannon arrays with.
Yeah, they do strength 7, AP -1. Used to be AP 2, but now AP 1. 2 damage, strength 7, and they shoot 4 shots or 2 shots each less, so 4 shots. It used to be 20 shots. Now it's 16 shots.
So they in total the one Leviathan has 24 shots.
Yeah. which is pretty good. And you have 3 hunter killer lists. Yeah, that I mean, and yeah. So I actually think that especially in the current meta versus like lots of Drukhari players,
they're actually quite good.
Yeah, they're actually quite good versus those.
Because so the Volkites are strength 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the strength 7 is very good against raiders.
Yeah,
so.
It's
Raiders are the way. So what the funny thing when you build lists, you build around the current meta lists usually. So okay, what's the best way to kill raiders? Oh, it's strength 7 because you go over the toughness 6. You have -1 AP, which is fine because they have 4 up save or a 5 pinfall save, that's perfect, and then they have 2 damage.
Yeah.
So one guy, I think, easily shoots a raider.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah, that's great.
So that's how you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's in the meta? Okay, so I'm gonna use this.
And the meta like a couple of months ago was like a lot of demons and a lot of horde.
Yeah.
And then this army is fine, but especially versus demons because they're so fast and
they're already in your face.
Yeah, they're already in your face turn 1, and then I mean you could shoot it away if they don't run over you, but then you don't score points. So I think that's So the worst matchup is I think demons.
Oh. All right. Well, that's a bit of information for you.
Yeah.
So you've got your Warlord, which is the Primaris Apothecary.
Yeah, so I actually played a lot of games without it, because I thought I don't need a Feel No Pain. I already have Feel No Pain, but actually getting a guy up
combat
every turn, and healing. Yeah, so Pharaohs is really tough. 7 wounds, 5 plus infill, 5 plus Feel No Pain.
2 plus armor save.
2 plus armor save, so a lot of time he doesn't die, and healing him up for 3 damage.
For 3 each time.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
And so and a lot of time the end phase is like aggressors or blade guard and Pharaohs. Going in close combat and then healing them up and reviving them.
To make sure that he keeps, because doing 7 wounds in 1 turn is actually quite hard.
That's pretty hard to do on a character, especially with those kind of saves. So why does he automatically heals for 3 then?
Yeah, and you automatically bring 1 model back because
he's the selfless healer.
Selfless healer. So I made him my Warlord selfless healer, and he can heal 2 guys and get 1 up.
That's pretty tasty.
Yeah, it's a must-have in every Space Marine army.
So speaking of tasty, you've got a heavy support. No wait, that's also an elite. My bad. It's a Relic Contemptor Dreadnought.
So this is a really spicy one that I think makes Iron Hand playable. Every Iron Hand list should have this, because you can still create a character Dreadnought. We're gonna go over it in with, stratagems, but you can create a character Dreadnought for 1 CP, and then because you make it a character, you give it the Warlord trait. So and for another CP you give it the Warlord trait, and it is target protocol. And this will give you a reroll on your hit, your wound, and your damage.
So he's like a camouflage Death Skull.
He's like camouflage.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's using my tech. That's why I'm here. I'm going to get back my tech.
Yeah. And so if you pump him with Pharaohs, you hit on 2.
Yeah.
Then you have reroll 1s, and after that just 1 reroll. That's most of the time.
Yeah.
Enough.
Sometimes you hit him on 3s because of deaths or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, exactly. But then
you can get rerolled on 2 as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also on the damage show, it is really good. And then you get a reroll from the lieutenant.
Yeah. Because they're core.
Yeah. And this is how you and you cannot target them all game. So this is like your gun because they became 9 wounds.
Yeah.
And they have the character keyword, so they get the lookout sir. And then you have like a gun platform that cannot be targeted, and it just shoots.
It's just gonna go.
Yeah, it's whatever. It's the classic point and click. It dies.
So he has 4 last cannons. So like he has 2 twins.
Yeah.
And then he has
double rocket launch.
He's bringing the twins, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
He's bringing the twins.
Yeah, 6 shots, and like the rockets are damage 8 and the last cannon is 9.
Strength 8, yeah.
Yeah, and then AP 3 on the rockets and AP 4 on the less cannons.
Yeah.
I think, or 3 on the less cannons as well.
3 on the less cannons.
Yeah, 3 on the less cannons as well, and then all the 6 damage.
Yeah, it's pretty tasty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good.
That was one of those. It's still a character, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
you cannot target. So I'm gonna all game. I'm just gonna shoot at different dress, but I'm gonna shoot.
No, he just does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Because he's the contemptor. So you've got, now we're heading over into heavy slots.
Yep.
A Devastator squad, a good old-fashioned Devastator squad.
Yeah. So actually, I'm not really happy with them in the current meta because there are not that many people with armor save 3+.
Yep.
So a lot of is 4+. Like for example, versus you.
Yeah, I have one thing with 2+. And that's it.
Yeah. And so they don't really work. and so you can also give them meltas, but that gets them really expensive. So I actually prefer tech bikes. Still need to paint them up, so I'm not running them today. But that's what I would swap. So in this list, I would swap the Devastators for a small squad to do something and a tech bike
The
squad.
Devastators actually have a 3-up save as well. So it's 3-up, 3-up, 2-up, and the rest is worse.
That's
I
true,
did not
yeah.
know that.
Yeah. So I thought there was 4-up.
No, the Dev Dreads are actually quite tough.
So
yeah.
we already deployed. Maybe he wants to redeploy some stuff because he didn't know that and just still use the drop.
We'll allow that in a minute. So
Yeah,
let's
so
finish the.
I actually want to do that, but then I also need to change my whole setup because then this.
Then
starts
there's it's okay. Let's just it's no problem.
Right,
No
for your
problem.
second heavy slot, you've got an Eradicator squad. He's already
Stressing out.
elsewhere with his mind. Yeah.
I was already thinking of it.
Focus.
Focus.
Yeah. So the Eradicators.
Yeah, so the Eradicators also really good in Iron Hands because they have a feel no pain. So they're toughness 5, 3 wounds, 6+ feel no pain.
Yeah.
And they can be rested by the apothecary.
Yep.
So also really good new unit for Space Marines. I think you should always have 1 or 2 squads. And I like to use them like my last resort damage. So I always put them in the back line and
When I get
wait,
close, yeah.
wait until my opponent comes close and then use them.
Yeah. Not in like the usual the Raven Guards. They say, okay, I'm gonna be in your face. Shoot what I want to shoot.
Yeah.
Be like a scalpel, and then you're gonna just use it as a
Yeah.
anvil. Yeah.
Play it like chess, like they're the tower.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
And then, rounding it off, last but not least, it's a good old-fashioned drop pod.
Yeah, exactly. So normally I use the Graph Devastators just to have 1 good target, eliminate it, and then they die. That's mostly what happens.
Yep.
Right now I put them over there because
Yeah.
we thought I don't have a lot of 3-up saves.
No, so what? That's what I do also versus Eldar because they have 3+ saves in their transport.
Yeah, you're gonna blow up the
Yeah. So
transport.
what I do a lot is like just put them in the back line and then blow up all the transport. Then the incubi need to charge towards you and maybe they kill a squad in the front or whatever. And then you can actually shoot those really good with your.
Yeah, because he has to. Because if you kill it, and he wants to get in charge range, he has to disembark to the forward movement, or else he will never get there in the whole game.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the list.
That's the list.
Now, you've also selected 3 of your favorite stratagem. And the first one is Mercy is Weakness.
Yeah,
so
so-
again, I'll just read the stratagem out loud for the folks at home. It's a 1 CP stratagem. You use it in your shooting phase or in the fight phase. When an Iron Hands unit from your army is chosen to shoot with or fight, you select an enemy unit, and until the end of that phase, every attack made by a model in the Iron Hands unit from your army that can target the selected unit must do so. But when resolving such an attack, an unmodified wound roll of 6, the target unit hits the target unit twice instead of once.
Yeah. So this is actually why you still want to play Iron Hands. This is the best stratagem. And it works. I mean, you just say, okay, my Leviathan is going to shoot all his guns at the plane, and then every 6 on the wound roll is an extra one.
Extra hit. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is really strong. You also can use them with the aggressors because they just have a lot of
A lot of
shots.
shots. Yeah.
And yeah, you like always use it. And also really good on the drop pod.
Yeah. That.
Yeah, and also on the tech bike squad. I mean, they have 6 shots.
Yeah,
So
tech bike, yeah.
but also like with bolt shots, I even use
You
them.
do a lot of shots. So
Yeah.
you do a lot of 6s. You get to reroll 1, so you're gonna fish for more 6s.
Yeah.
It's a long way of saying exploding 6s.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a very long way.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you need to target like the same target.
Yeah. All right, for your second C, or stratagem rather, it's March of the Ancients. And for 1 CP, you can use this stratagem before the battle. You nominate a model to be a warlord. You select an Iron Hands Dreadnought model from your army, and it gains the character keyword. So you add 1 to the attacks and leadership characteristics as well. And you can only use this on 1 Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we already talked about it. I use it on the Contemptor Relic Dreadnought.
Extremely good.
And then give him the Dark Protocol Water Trait.
Yep.
Yeah, that's just extremely good.
So good. So for the final one, it's Wrathful Machine Spirit. So this is 2 CP. So this is gonna be good. Use this stratagem in your shooting phase on the fight phase. When an Iron Hands vehicle model from a unit is chosen to shoot with or fight, Until the end of that phase, you resolve an attack made by that model. You can re-roll the to-hit roll.
Yeah, so I actually chose this one because in the old days you would never use this stratagem because it was too expensive, 2 CP, and you already had reroll once.
Yep.
And your dreadnoughts would hit on 2s, but now dreadnought hits on 3s.
Yep.
And when you hit the plane or you fire to dance, then it's 4+, and then
you really want the full reroll.
You want full reroll, and then it becomes really good. So I wanted to highlight this one because I use it a lot now with the Leviathan Dreadnoughts, and it's really strong.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Yeah, these are very powerful stratagems actually.
Yeah.
2 CP is a bit. Yeah, it's a bit pricey, I suppose, for a reroll to hit, but it's still good.
Yeah, it's full reroll with 24 shots. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
If you usually hit 12, now you hit 18.
Yeah.
You know.